Hello everyone, I just got my hands on the new PMBOK 7th edition. I have read these things from cover to cover from the 3rd edition all the way up here to the 7th edition, and I gotta say the first thing to note is that it is much smaller. It is definitely a little bit lighter than the last few that were a good 500 some pages. So initial thoughts is beyond the thinness of it, is that it is, I think, better designed, better laid out. Now, I know a lot of the project management professionals out there and those who do training and the course design and everything like I do are going to get upset with me about this, but quite honestly, I did not care for sort of the very prescriptive nature of the earlier editions. Now, I was certified as a PMP going all the way back to the 3rd edition, which is about 2004 that came out, and then the 4th edition, and then we had the 5th that kind of expanded upon how things are organized and even added like stakeholder management, which I thought was obviously very needful because they always said, oh, it exists. It's sort of always assumed and it's contained within it. But I thought making it a very succinct knowledge area all upon itself with its own processes, everything was great. But still, going from 3rd to 4th, yeah, there was a lot of cleanup and a lot of standardization and more global. Then you had the 5th, which was just an expansion, and the 6th even more so. But now really they reinvented it. They took it away from being, hey, you are a project manager, this is what you're supposed to do, and if you don't do it, then why are you not doing it? And you need to follow these rules and you need to memorize all of these things. Now they're really saying project management as a discipline. Project management needs to happen because we need things to get done. We need to fill objectives and I think that is giving us more of a mindset because there's principles in here. There's a whole section just on methods and some of the artifacts or models to follow. And so what really makes this good then for the exam is there's not going to be that memorization that happens. And I remember even some of the coursework I've written, people would say, oh, well, you didn't include this one about meetings as a tool and technique. I'm like, really? Do you really have to be reminded every single time that meetings are a tool and technique? And I think, hopefully we get away from that, hey, we need to memorize this book and take a test on this book, to more of what does a project manager do? But not even a project manager as a role or as a title, but what does an organization need to do to manage projects? So you think of it more holistically, and I think it's going to be better all around. So the good is that my first impressions with the PMBOK 7 is that because you have a more generalized approach, it is still going to include a lot of the new agile concepts that obviously have its own exam and everything else, but it's saying this is a toolkit to use. This is what you need to know if you're going to manage projects as an organization. Here are the things to consider, whether you're going predictive or you're going in an agile or adaptive way or somewhere in between like a hybrid. You are having this toolkit and you have like this toolbox and you have different tools to use, but you're not going to use those tools on every single project for every single day for every single need. You just need to know that, hey, there's a hammer in my toolbox. If I need a hammer, where would the situations come up that I might need it? And yes, it's asking a lot of the project managers and the project management organizations to be aware of all these things, but what's the harm of having that kind of knowledge and being able to apply it in different situations, or at least be aware of the possibilities? Because yes, if I only had a hammer, then everything would look like a nail, and I could probably build some things only using my hammer and nails, but I probably could be more efficient if I had an understanding of the different tools and how to apply those tools, and not try to use a chainsaw the same way I use a hammer, recognizing that there's a different need, a different use, and different situations in which I use them. Just like in project management, you need to be aware of all the different circumstances, and I think that the 7th edition PMBOK is going to be a better resource, even if it's not as comprehensive as some of the other books were. But I think it's more about the mindset now than it is about the prescriptive nature. So that's my first look. I will have a lot more about the 7th edition and everything else project management, but I hope you can learn a lot and find also the same input that I had in this. And if not, I look forward to your comments and we can chat. Thanks.